Awesome.
Yay! All right. I almost said good morning, but technically we're at 12 o'clock Central. So good afternoon or good morning or good evening if you are watching the replay. My name is Lauren Golden. I'm the founder of the Free Mama and the Free Mama Movement. And until further notice, I will be celebrating every time I go live that I am back in an office. If you have been following along, I was displaced for 3 months. I've been out of town the last 2 weeks, and I came home to a fully refinished basement after our flood that happened from a burst pipe 2 days before Christmas. And this is just, I'm not even done. I just threw some stuff up, but like, we're just feeling good that we have a place to go that's not the kitchen counter, Sarah. It's like really exciting. So anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about today though, but shout out to my office. Shout out to my dad for making it happen. It's all good things, but we're not here to talk about men. We are here to talk about women. And if you have seen my email about this event, if you have been in the Facebook group where we posted that we would be hosting this event, or any social media we did to try to encourage you to come to this training, you know that this is not the first time we've done this. I asked Sarah to come speak to our Freedom Founders, which is our mastermind. I always seek out very elite entrepreneurs in the things that they do. And what was really peculiar to me about Sarah is that I didn't really understand what she did, but I could see her passion for it. I had heard some testimonials from Sarah about, casework she had done with other entrepreneurs, and just the fact that it's about women. And I obviously am so passionate about helping moms change their lives through business and through personal development. I was intrigued. I'll just be honest. Like I was intrigued, but like very selfishly, probably. And so I invited Sarah. I'm like, okay, here's this event. Here's our theme. Does what you do make sense? And she's like, oh yeah, I got it. And I think you were our last speaker of the event. You were the only speaker on day 2. And I was almost crying by the end of your presentation because I felt validated. I felt seen. I felt understood. And when we look at the online landscape right now with the bro marketing and kind of the aggressive sales tactics, and we've got, setters and social sellers and just all this stuff happening, just this noise, where it feels like people are just trying to take from us, right? They're just trying to sell us stuff. It's like, finally looking at this work that you have done through your research and your collaborations with entrepreneurs and your studies of what's happening and gender roles and all kinds of different things that you're going to talk about, I was literally almost moved to tears. Like that's all I can say. And it was so good that I begged Sarah to come back and do this training for the entire free. Oh my God, the chat is going crazy, by the way. I just looked over. I'm like, hey, yeah, look at all those comments. Hi, everybody. I begged Sarah. Luckily, she's so generous that I didn't have to beg that hard. But I literally
One boxer, Lauren. One.
I know.
That's what it took.
I know. Yeah, one box. I'm like, hey, will you dig? No. It was so moving. So buckle up. Try to eliminate your distractions, you guys, although we'll leave it in the Facebook group for a couple days so you can go back and watch it. But please be here. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't the pre-perfect webinar, set down your pins and sign up. Like, be here because this is for you. The work that she does, it's for you. It's going to help you as a consumer. It's going to help you as a woman. It's going to help you as a business owner. So be here and hear what she's saying to you, because it's really beautiful. Or I would not have asked her to come back and speak to all of you. So I want to get out of the way. Guys, this is Sarah. She's amazing. This is going to be fantastic. We've already got your slides ready to go. So the tech gods are on our side, Sarah. But I'm going to get out of the way. And I'm really excited, honestly, to get to munch on this training for a second time myself, because I just really believe in the work that you're doing. And I think that it is, if all of us can take what you're teaching and we can use it, again, as consumers and producers, I think we can really change this kind of economic landscape that we're in this kind of capitalist, and I'm not knocking all of these things as an entrepreneur, but I think we've taken it too far. And that's why so many of us feel gross. We feel hesitant. We are having trust issues. We don't feel good about our own offers sometimes because we're trying to plug it into this really masculine framework. So this is just going to be amazing. Thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And everybody, I will be in the chat here with you. And what do you think about an hour to a little over an hour so they can prepare themselves?
Yes, my goal is to try and really end on the hour so that we can help deep dive a little bit with any kind of questions or epiphanies that may happen as we talk about this. So let's do it.
So guys, clear your calendar and just try to be here. And Sarah, over to you, my friend. I'm so
excited. Well, I know that Lauren's like, I want to get out of the way. I want to get out of the way. I want her to talk and everything, but I'm actually really grateful for Lauren because she did not get out of the way in my life. I had been observing her, watching her. I'd seen her on stage. I'd seen her book. I'd seen her magazine covers. I'd seen all of these things. And one of the things that really drew me to her as a person was that she was willing to take like standard marketing practices and standard marketing go-tos and say, that doesn't feel right to me. That feels kind of weird to me. I'm not going to play that way. And it really was one of the earliest experiences in growing my business where I saw a really successful, amazing woman who had a family and a spouse and all these pursuits who was willing to say, no, thanks to the standard. Right. And so I really include Lauren as part of my journey in trying to discover how do we build a business that actually feels good, right? It actually feels good. So we're going to be talking specifically. And when she says be here, please be here because we're going to be writing some stuff down. Okay. What we're going to be talking about is the one piece of leverage that you and I both need to market to women and actually have it work without feeling like a pile of crap, right? Like we want to feel good building this business. Now, full transparency, as we talk about this, you may be like Lauren and you may cry, or you may have these like, oh, I'm not sure if I can do this. I'm not sure if I can do this. Or you may hear something and say, well, that makes sense for all those businesses. I don't understand what it would look like for my business. Okay. Full transparency. I would love to meet with you. So you will find at the end of this, you're actually going to have a chance to sign up for one of 40 seats. We're going to have you pay $27 so you show up. Okay. Bottom line. Okay. $27 is for you. It's not for me. Okay. We're going to do $27 to meet together 2 different events where I can help you connect those dots. That's the goal. How does this apply to you? How does this apply to your business? So be looking for this slide near the end. If at any time you're like, ooh, I want to know what Sarah thinks about this, or I want to know how I can connect the dots here. Or how could I help this feel better? Like that's what this is for. Okay. So let's get rocking and rolling. And I'm going to start with this image. And I'm going to be watching the comments on Facebook. And I want to ask you this question. When you see this, I call it a torture device, right? You can call it whatever you want. I call it a torture device. When you see this thing, what are the thoughts that come to your brain? Okay. I hope you can see this. What are the thoughts come to your brain? And I do have to kind of skedaddle back and forth to try and see some of these comments here. Okay. Rip off? Okay. Nice. Scam, waste of money, dread. Okay, so we're all like in agreement that this can feel like a torture device, right? Okay, so this is one of those crane games where you go and you spend $1 and the crane comes in and is supposed to grab something, right? And the bottom line is every mother hates this because it is so tempting, it's so pizzazzy, and there certainly are cool things inside, but you end up spending $100 to get like a $2 animal from China, right? That's kind of what you do. And so it feels like this ripoff. And how many of you have felt like marketing your business kind of feels like this? It's like, can I throw $1,000 in Facebook ads? Cross my fingers. Are the gods on my side? Like, am I going to get something with the crane, right? Or, oh, I'm going to try this webinar, or, oh, I'm going to try this pitch. And it just feels very like luck oriented. Like Lauren just happened to be lucky, or Sarah just happened to be right place, right time. And it's kind of like torture. Like marketing can feel like torture. So if you are feeling that way, I'm so glad because you are in the right space. Okay. Now I also recognize I am brand new to Lauren's audience in general. Okay. So let me introduce myself. My name is Sarah Grace. I'm the CEO of Victor's Global. I married the boy down the street. He is my best friend. His name is Greg. Okay. I have 4 kids aged 3 to 13 and a dog. I work 12 to 15 hours a week. That was both before and after I had a team. I'm not a workaholic. That is not my world right now. I built a bunch of businesses using what we're going to talk about today called leverage. Okay. And they've all surpassed six figures in that first year because of that leverage. Okay. I've never gone into debt for business. I take Fridays off. My work hours in the summer are minimal. But what we're highly going to focus on today is how over the past couple of years were we able to double the revenue of 18 out of 18 businesses. Like, how did that happen? Okay. How did that happen? And sometimes I say that and I'm like, oh my gosh, like we did that thing. We did that thing. And how did we do that? Because I'm so sick of the crane game when it comes to business, right? Sick and tired of it. Okay. So we're going to dive into those things. That's who I am. And you know, what's cooler is I've had a pajama party with Lauren. Let's be honest. That's like a cooler part of my life. Okay, there we go. Okay, so because we are going to be talking about making changes today and moving away, Lauren kind of gave it away. We're moving away from bro marketing today. That's what we're doing, because there are two things that I am super sick and tired of seeing in the business world. Two things. Number one, freelancers who really, really struggle to make money. Okay. It makes me so incredibly sad because I grew up with a mother who was in her own way an entrepreneur. This is my sweet mom. She was an author for a religious book company, and she wrote about historical events to have them appeal to kids, right? I grew up with a mom who set the example of following a passion, of bringing revenue into our lives, of helping pay our cars off, and who took us on trips, and who was like pursuing her own dream, right? Doing something that really, really lit her up. And I was like, God, I was so blessed by having a mom that was that way. Did any of you grow up with a mom that way? That like a mom that was just filled in her soul with passion and purpose and drive and learning. Okay. What a blessing. What a blessing. So then I had my little baby, right? This baby is now 13. Okay. And still as cute as ever, right? Won't wear the headband, but darling. Okay. So my why got crazy, crazy real when this sweet baby was born, because I was like, oh, okay, I really want to be that mom. I want to take care of this beautiful baby, and I want to be passionate, and I want to be giving, and I want to like do all these things that I saw my mom do. I wanted to do that thing, and I didn't know what it looked like yet. Didn't know what it looked like. And then a small detail came into my life. And that was Greg saying, hey, I want to go to medical school. And all of a sudden, I was looking ahead at 9 years of poverty going, oh, this is going to be really exciting. How can I stay passionate and fulfilled and a great mom to this baby and all the things with this small detail of 9 years of medical school ahead? Okay. How am I going to do that? So there was a time in Greg's medical school journey in which basically you don't need to know all the details, but in one of the years, they have to pick what kind of doctor they're going to be. Right? They have to say, I want to go in emergency medicine, or I want to be an anesthesiologist, or I want to be a surgeon, or I want to be whatever. He had to make that decision, and he had no idea what he wanted to do. Okay. And there's like a legit deadline. You have to submit the paper and say, this is what I want to be. And we didn't know what to do. And I was like, well, we've gone like $500,000 into debt. You got to pick. Like, you got to pick. You got to pick the specialty, right? Didn't know what to do. Didn't know what to do. And of course, it all came together in a moment in the airport. Okay. One summer in the airport, I ran into a fellow religious leader, okay? Someone who I loved, respected, admired, had been a real guide to me. And I just cornered him, poor guy, in the airport. And I was like, I have a question. I have a question. He said, tell me, what is going on? And I said, Greg is trying to decide what kind of doctor to be. Like, we've got to be able to make a decision here. We've got a deadline. Okay. And he said, okay, well, I've worked in a lot of hospitals. What is he thinking of doing? And I said, emergency medicine, anesthesiology, or surgery. We don't know what to do. And he said, oh, anesthesiology, hands down. And you guys are like, I'm in the wrong training. I'm a freelancer. We're not talking about medicine. I promise this is going to apply. Stay with me. Okay. He said, anesthesiology, no doubt. And I said, how is that so easy for you? And he said, make decisions so that you can give in ways that you've never given before. And I thought, well, yeah, okay, but he could go into surgery and we'd make a ton of money. We'd be able to give money like crazy. And he said, no, I want you to listen really carefully. You cannot give what you do not have. Okay. And this is what makes me sad about how hard it can be to make that initial chunk of money in a business, to make those initial sales, is because we cannot give what we do not have. We cannot give of our time if we don't have freedom of time. We cannot give of our money if we don't have extra money. We can't give of our energy if we are totally depleted and suffering inside, right? You cannot give what you do not have. And I thought, that's why my mom was a rock star. She could give of her energy because she was energized. She could give of financially because she was making money. She could give of her passion because she had passion. All of those things she was able to give and give and give because of what she had. And this became the goal. Okay. We chose anesthesiology. He's officially an anesthesiologist, rock and roll. Let's go. Okay. But the reality is I wanted to do that for me too. Greg had found his path. Cool, rock and roll. How can I do this too? How can I do this too? And it became even more apparent to me. And this is meant to be a moment of like, I see you right now, where I have seen incredible entrepreneurs, incredible freelancers that have absolutely transformed my life, who have said, I can't do this anymore if I can't make money. Okay. This is an actual person who has taught me how to connect with my teenager better than any other person online. And she said, Sarah, I can't do this anymore if I can't make money. And I thought, selfishly, I need you to be in this world. Like the cost is too great. I need you long-term. So how can I keep you moving forward in your passion and your purpose? Okay. If any of you ever like had the quits, you've been like, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. Okay. My hope is that the things that we talk about today, simple and powerful, will help you get over that barrier of starting to generate regular revenue. Okay. Because as Lauren teaches, time is greater than money. Money sets your time free. Okay. Some of you want to be able to retire your husband, hire a team. You want to travel. You want healthier living. You want to live closer to family. All of those things are associated with wanting to increase your freedom of time. And that's what Lauren's all about. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay, so let's dive into how we're actually going to do this. How did we do this over and over with 18 out of 18 businesses? Well, it all started in a really awkward Uber conversation. I was coming back. I was a brand new entrepreneur. I was coming back from a conference and I was like, oh my gosh, I have a million ideas. And I'm like, I'm going to blow this business up. This is going to be great. And I shared an Uber on the way home. Lauren, you were at the same event where this happened, I'm sure. Okay. I was coming back on the Uber going to the airport and I thought the guy next to me, like, I thought he was smoking or on drugs or something. I was like, well, at least it's a cheap ride. This is good. Because I really wasn't generating any kind of revenue in my business. So I'm sitting there next to this Uber guy and he starts talking to me and I'm being very polite. Okay. And then he found out I was an entrepreneur. He found out what I was selling and he said, okay, well, what's the problem? And I was like, well, like, just can't seem to get people over that hurdle to actually like engage in the product or like want the product, that kind of thing. And he's like, okay, well, what's the last thing you tried? And he's having this conversation with me. And bottom line is he gave me this piece of advice that really like it made me turn like all pale inside, because this is what he said. He goes, well, Sarah, your product will only sell to the amount of people that you show it to. And I was like, inside. Okay. Have you ever like been like, nobody's joining my email list? Like nobody's doing this thing. And it's like, okay, well, when was the last time you talked about your email list? And it was like, oh, like 210 days ago. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So Mr. Uber guy, praise the Lord for him. Okay. Because he absolutely got me on a trajectory where I was like, I have to learn to become a marketer. I have to be a marketer. Now, I know a lot of you guys identify as a freelancer. I know a lot of you guys identify as a Lauren Golden fan. I know a lot of you guys identify as a free mama, but do you identify as a marketer? Are you a marketer? Okay. There is no way around it if you want that freedom of time, energy, money, all those things. Okay. So there are really two people in the room. Put it in the chat. You are either on team one or you are on team two. You are either a freelancer who is hashtag not a marketer. Like, I don't know how. I don't know how. Like, what do I do? Okay. Or you're on team two where you're like, I'm doing stuff and it's not doing anything. Okay. Team one or team two, which team are you on? And Lauren, because I can't see the comments, you're going to have to tell me which team these guys are on. Are you not a marketer or are you on marketing not working? Okay. Because regardless of where you are in your journey, if you're not a marketer or marketing not working, this is going to unify you for the next half hour.
We're split down the middle.
Wonderful. Well, let's just mash that together and say, doesn't matter what team you're currently cheering for, we are going to unify and fix both of these problems. I don't know what to do or what I'm doing isn't working. We're going to find out why now. Okay. So because we want to become a marketer and we want the freedom of time, money, energy, and knowledge, let's start real basic. Okay. What's marketing? I'm like, what's marketing? Well, clearly the Uber guy is like, marketing is like showing your stuff to people. Let's just simplify that. That's what marketing is. We're going to show your stuff to people. Okay. So my immediate question then is like, how do I actually market? Like, what do I do? Right. Whether you're team one or team two, like, what do I actually do, Sarah? What do I do? Well, this was my first exposure to marketing. Is I was like, this is a train wreck. Okay. This is an absolute train wreck. It's like neon signs and it's like false promises. And it's like, there's a chicken in there and there's like a click, click, click and like live Twitter feed and like cheap and lease and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, I don't want to be a marketer. I don't want to be a marketer if that's what it's going to be. Right. So I started to think back on like, how did I figure out how to become something faster than anybody else? So for example, when I was a music nerd in college, I graduated in music education. Okay. These were my glory days, you guys right here. Okay. And I said, how did I do it? Like, how did I complete my 5-year degree in just 4 years? How did I do that? Like, what were the principles behind that? Because I did that successfully. How can I plug that into my business? Well, the answer is leverage. I'm going to show you what that is in a minute. Okay. I figured out how to leverage certain areas of my life. Okay. Then I started growing a business and I said, okay, how do I like speed up the results of like growth and notoriety and all those kinds of things? Like I go on TV, right? That's what I do. I find moments of leverage. By the way, this is not leverage, just so you know. Okay. All right. Okay. So I was like, if I can figure out leverage, then my family's going to be so blessed. And that little baby that's now 13, think of what we could do as a family, right? Then we could give and give and give. So we have nailed and we are committed to understanding that we are sick and tired of making money being a really hard thing. Okay. Okay. We're sick and tired of that. Lauren agrees with that. That's why we're in here. The second thing I am so sick and tired of is marketing that is high pressure and dishonest. It is not working. It doesn't feel good, and you will become a slave to it. Stop. Stop making up testimonials. Stop overpromising. Stop fudging the numbers. Like, stop with all the stuff you've been taught. And guess what? It's not your fault. It's because you've been taught that way. And Lauren and I so graciously call it bro marketing. Okay. That's what you've been taught. And what I'm here to help you do is find a leverage point that's actually going to solve both of these things. You're going to be able to make money, and it doesn't have to go through high pressure and dishonesty. It can feel great. It can be impact driven. Okay. You on board? You on board? Let's go. Okay. So I was here with you. I wasn't a marketer yet. And I was like, I'm going to figure out how to be a marketer. And it's going to feel so good. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. So I listened to Tony Robbins, and Tony Robbins in a nutshell said, do what everybody else is doing. Like, model the people that are brilliant. So I did. I went to work, and this is me actually modeling the thing after getting out of the car with the Uber driver. I'm like modeling the thing, right? I bought all the things. I got the VSL scripts. I bought storytelling workshops. I bought email scripts. I bought sales page templates. I did like a copy and paste business strategy. Anybody ever bought like a sales page script or a swipe file or something like that? Totally been there. And I did the marketing. I actually showed my product to people. That's what I did over and over and over again. And what I found is it felt like this. Remember that death trap? Remember that waste of money? Remember that like rip off, that kind of thing? That's what it felt like. Is I was like, it just is so hit and miss. It is so hit and miss. And I've got 4 kids. Like, I can't have hit and miss marketing. I just can't. So unless you have Mark Roberg on your side, he's like such a fan. We're such a fan of him in our house. So I had to bring him in for my kids' sake. He's the one that can like fix and win every time on all these card games. He would be considered leverage. Okay. Lauren is giving you leverage all the time by teaching you how to stand out as a freelancer. If you can stand out, that's a leverage point. Okay. I needed to figure out the leverage points. Okay. This is not leverage. Spammy pop-ups are not leverage. Okay. Spamming DMs, like hijacking people's threads, buying followers. This is not marketing, nor is it leverage. Okay. So if you're tempted by any of those things, it's not a long-term strategy. Okay. So what I did is I did the steps over and over and over again. Here's all the different marketing things that I have tried over and over and over again. And what I discovered is that when I copied and pasted bro marketing, sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. And it was hugely inconsistent. Okay. How many of you feel like that's what your business does? It's like peak, valley, peak, valley, peak, valley. Like, how could we actually steady this out? So I am consistently generating revenue. Would that change anybody's life here in the room? Okay. Would that change anybody's life? Okay. That became the goal. And I was like, so why isn't this working? Right? Why isn't it working? Well, oh, it's the economy. It's got to be the economy. Oh, maybe I'm actually super annoying. Well, that's not going to change. So I'm not going to worry about that. Okay. Like, am I stupid? Like, do I not understand the marketing principles that they're teaching me? Is that what's happening here? Okay. Is my product bad? Does nobody want my product? Oh, maybe it's my branding or it's my colors. Like maybe I'm emailing at the wrong time of day. And here's where it all came to a head. It all came to a head when I was not thinking about marketing and I was sitting in front of my fireplace and I actually was looking at a digital copy of the New York Times. It was during an election year. I'm not a big political person and this is not a political discussion, but I was reading an opinion piece in there and they shared this quote. It said, "Gender is the biggest force at play when it comes to how one views the world, politics, religion, and ultimately purchase decisions." And I said, wait, what? Gender is the biggest force at play when it comes to purchase decisions. And I thought, wait, what am I missing here? There is something about this. And then I saw another article later. Okay. I saw another article on the Washington Post. In the last several years, we've discovered that gender differences come into play on how we respond to business messages. Now, full caveat. I'm going to interrupt this. This is super, super important. We are using the word gender here today. Okay. We're using the word gender and how it relates to marketing. This is not a discussion about politics. This is not a discussion about religion. This is not about feminism. This is not about man hating. You and I are having a discussion today in Lauren Golden Group about marketing. That is what we are talking about. Okay. So if you can be on board with that when I'm using the word gender, we are talking about marketing, will you just say, I'm in? Okay. Amen. Okay, I'm in. Let's go. So now back to our regularly scheduled program. Okay. I was reading in the New York Times and I thought, okay, well, if gender is the biggest force at play when it comes to purchase decisions, and then I see that Bloomberg is telling me that 85% of consumer purchases are made or influenced by women, I started to ask this question. How would my marketing look different if I leaned into the fact that I'm marketing to women? And I thought, oh, does my branding need to be pink? Do I need to use curly fonts? Does the face of my business, like, what does this mean to market differently to women? Okay, well, does it mean I have to have one marketing plan for men, one marketing plan for women, all that kind of stuff? So I was totally exploring. And I've been in a lot of marketing rooms with Lauren included, where it's like, I'm figuring out marketing and learning from the most brilliant sales and marketing minds in the nation. And what I discovered is that nearly every marketing playbook that you read has a foundational element called the hero's journey. Okay. How many of you here in the room are familiar with the hero's journey? Okay. If I say that as a marketer or as a business person, are you like, oh, I totally know what that is, or I studied that in college or something like that? Okay. Okay. I'm just looking at the comments really quick on my other screen. Okay. So it sounds like this is familiar to you. And in fact, if you Googled it, like, I did not make this up. This is a thing. This is a thing. And you can see books about it and cycles about it. And you can see posters about it and all this kind of stuff. But if you are unsure whether you've actually been impacted by the hero's journey, are you ready to see this? Okay. If you have ever cheered for Harry Potter and hoped that he was the one who lived in the end, okay, you have been emotionally impacted by the hero's journey. The hero's journey is a story framework. Okay. There's always a hero. The hero's Harry Potter. There's always a guide. The guide is Dumbledore. There's always a conflict. Well, Voldemort's alive. There's always a journey, which is Hogwarts and Horcruxes. There's always a victory. Harry defeats Voldemort and the world is saved. Okay. And I hope I didn't spoil that for anybody. If you haven't finished the books, Harry lives. Okay, cool. All right. If you've ever cheered for Harry Potter, you have been impacted by the hero's journey. Okay. Star Wars fans, I'm legit wearing Star Wars socks right now. Yes, we are Luke Skywalker fans. If you have ever been impacted by Star Wars and like driven by that storyline, you have been impacted by the hero's journey. The hero is Luke. The guide is Obi-Wan. The conflict is the Empire. The journey is the Death Star. The victory is the Empire is defeated. The world is saved. Awesome. Hero's journey. Okay. If you have ever been impacted by Lord of the Rings, you have been emotionally impacted and driven by the hero's journey. Frodo Baggins, Gandalf, the ring, Mount Doom, the ring is destroyed, the world is saved. Like, all of this is part of your world. Okay. If you ever want to start writing a story or help your kids write stories, you can Google the hero's journey and produce a pretty cool story that people want to engage in. Okay. This is what the hero's journey looks like. Okay. I didn't make this up. Okay. I didn't make this up. This exists. This is the hero's journey. The hero has a problem, who meets a guide, who gives them a solution, tells them to solve it. They have a result. It either ends in success or failure, right? That's how it ends. Most movies end in success. So when I read that New York Times article and I said, okay, well, if gender is the biggest force at play when it comes to purchase decisions, then what about her? What about her story? There was no answer. There was legit no answer. What about her? So instead of being frustrated, I got to work. And did you know that there is a female version of the hero's journey, and it is significantly different? Okay. That is what we're talking about today. I'm here to introduce you to the victorious journey. Okay. This is the victorious journey, and I want you to pay attention because you are going to be filling in these yellow parts, because these are the parts that are significantly different compared to the hero. Are you with me? Okay. This is the victorious journey. So when I have a business called Victorious Global, what is it based on? It's based on acknowledging and figuring out the victorious journey for you and your customer. That's what it is. Okay. So let me walk you through a side-by-side comparison of the hero's journey and the victorious journey. And we are particularly going to lean into the parts that are different, because those are the parts that are killing your marketing and my marketing. Those are the parts in which you are losing women who want to partake of your services. Those are the parts that when not done, it feels yucky inside. Okay. That's what we're going to highlight. So let me introduce you. Here's the side by side. So if we're going to talk about the hero's journey versus the victorious journey, okay, we know that there is always a hero or a victorious. Okay. Frodo is the hero. Moana is the victorious. We are the same so far. Awesome. Both of them are faced with a problem. Okay. Your business, Lauren, you've been taught so well. Your business solves a problem. Okay. It solves social media stressfulness. It solves tax issues. It solves copywriting. It solves organization for a CEO. All those things that you are doing, you are solving a problem. Okay. The hero has a problem. The problem is there is a ring that is controlling the world. That's the problem. It needs to be solved. Okay. The problem for Moana is she feels called to the ocean. Okay. She feels called to the ocean. There's a problem, but really the visible problem is the island is dying. Okay. If you haven't seen Moana, you will never see it the same after today. Okay. Welcome to the victorious journey. It's so great. Okay. The problem is that the island is dying. Okay. This is the part we're going to lean into because it's different. Okay. Hence the yellow. We're saying, hey, this is different. In the hero's journey, this is when the hero kind of accepts the call. Okay. So when Frodo is brought into the room with the fellowship is saying, hey, guess what? We need to take this ring and we need to take it to Mordor. Okay. And it needs to be destroyed. The hero volunteers. He's like, I'm a guy. I can go on journeys. I can figure this out. I may have hairy feet, but I will take the ring to Mordor, though I do not know the way. Okay. Send me a guide. Show me the way, kind of thing. There's always a hero. Okay. That's what's happening there. The victorious, however, oh, what a different experience she has. Okay. I want you to imagine the movie Moana, and I hope you've all seen it. Bunch of free mamas. I hope you have. Okay. The victorious goes through a massive, and I mean massive, massive, massive identity crisis at this stage in the game. She sees the problem. Okay. She knows that there's a problem. She doesn't know how to solve it through her own ability. And what I mean by this is picture Moana. Moana knows that the island is dying, and she has a couple of choices in front of her. Number one is, oh, I'm going to be the leader, the chief of my tribe. I'm going to stay here. Like, that's where I'm supposed to be. And then literally like 10 seconds later, she's bawling and she's saying, what's wrong with me? Like, it's in the middle of a song. There's an entire song dedicated to this victorious having an identity crisis. Okay. So this is so incredibly important for you to lean into, because when women engage with your business, they actually aren't sure if it's okay for them to do it. They don't know if it's okay for them to have a social media manager because they're not sure how it's going to appear to their family and their in-laws and all that kind of stuff. Like there is an internal problem happening within her where it's like, well, I'm not sure if it's okay for me to make money because the guys like culturally where we live are supposed to make the money. Like there is an identity crisis going on. Okay. Even some of you who may or who may not have, especially engaged in some of Lauren's paid programs and services, you got stuck here. I got stuck here. Okay. I don't know if it's okay for me to work. I don't know if it's okay for me to bring money into the income. I don't know money into the home. I don't know if it's okay for me to leave my children for X amount of hours in exchange for money. Okay. There is a battle that is waged here, and we're going to help you nail it today. This is the part out of all of bro marketing that is swept under the rug. It is not acknowledged. It is not displayed. It is not talked about. It is like, oh, just go after your dreams. Okay. Just go after your dreams. You're so close. Keep going. Okay. There is a major opportunity for you here. Can you tell? I'm going to like lose my voice. Okay. Talking about this. So incredibly important. And I'm going to help you identify it in just a minute. Okay. If the victress can push through her identity crisis, which is your job as a marketer, by the way, okay, help her push through her identity crisis, she will take action like the hero, okay? She will take action. Moana gets on the boat and she starts, okay? Frodo leaves the Shire and he starts. It's the same for both of us. Super cool, right? Okay, so the next stage in the journey, again, another yellow square because it's different, is that this Frodo depends on a guide. Do you remember at the beginning when he was like, I will take the ring to Mordor, but I do not know the way? Okay, Gandalf, come with me. Show me where to go. Let's go. Men in bro marketing really appeal to having a guide who is older, who is wiser, who is further ahead, like up on the mountaintop guiding them. Like that appeals to a male in a company, right? That is building a business. Okay. When it comes to a woman, this should come as no surprise. Women want friends. You guys, what is happening inside the free mama? You are surrounded by allies. And in Moana's journey, she has allies, not guides. Okay. Her guides come later. Okay. We'll talk about that later. She is in search of allies. Who is like me? Who is on this journey with me? Who will link arms with me instead of screaming at me from the mountaintop? Quick, get up here. You can do this. Go, go, go. She wants to link arms with someone. And I'm going to show you how to acknowledge that in her journey. Okay. Then both of them go on a journey. Okay. Now, pay close attention to the journeys. Okay. This is where Frodo takes a journey to Mordor. Okay. Rock solid. That is his end goal. That is the end of the 3-part series, is he takes it to Mordor, right? And destroys the ring. Okay. Moana's journey, however, is shorter term. Her original journey is to go and find Maui, because Maui has the hook and he can bring back the heart of Te Fiti and cure all the sickness that's on the islands, right? That is her initial journey. Okay. So they both go on a journey. Frodo's is long-term, but Moana's is short-term. And what that means is you have an opportunity to acknowledge that the victor's journey is significantly different for her because she needs a fast win. Okay. She needs a fast win. Now let's be kind to Moana for a minute. Why didn't at the very beginning, why didn't we just say, Moana, go and take this to Te Fiti and go defeat the big like Te Ka demon guy at the end? You can do this, go. Because of her identity crisis, she never would have got on the boat. Never would have done it. But we acknowledge the identity crisis. She gets a quick win by finding Maui. And then she's so far in her journey, it's like, oh, yeah, okay. Well, now that I have an ally with me, I can figure this out. I can do this. Let's go. Okay. Does this kind of make sense? So we need an initial earlier on win with female customers in order to guide them along the hero's journey. They will then face the enemy. Men face the enemy, women face the enemy. You face the enemy as a freelancer. We've all done it. Okay. Then you will also meet a guide. Okay. And Lauren had some really awesome epiphanies about the guide and how that plays in the victor's journey. We can talk about that at the end. Okay. But everybody will meet a guide as part of their journey. And then they end up arriving back home. Okay, the arrival back home. And what that means is they've been transformed in some way. And as they come home to their families and their communities, the world is a better place because they're a better version of themselves. And they're bringing that power home to them. Okay, so that is the high view. So we've done like the bird's eye view of the victor's journey and the three things that are significantly different. Now, remember, the world has largely accepted that hero marketing works for all mankind, but it was created by men. And so it instinctively targets men. And that is a problem because she is different. And you and I are losing customers because we ignore it. Okay. So we are going to lean into the fact that we are women. Like FYI, when I go into like with these CEOs, with these like $1 million businesses, you have the advantage here because you are a woman. When I teach some of these things to them, it is like, wait, what? That matters? What? Why would she think that way? Whatever. Like, you have an advantage with the fact that you are a female to be able to attract other females. Leverage, way to go. This is amazing. Okay, so if we look at the hero's journey from this perspective and we say, okay, thanks for that foundation, we're going to flip it on its head and do instead the victor's journey. These are the three significantly different moments. She meets an ally, okay? She has an identity crisis and she has a win. What if I could tell you that by the end of today, we will have built a sentence, one sentence, that will help you conquer all three at once. Are you in? Are you in? I hope you are in. This is when the pen and paper are going to come out because we are going to build one sentence that conquers all three of these significantly different parts of the victor's journey that you can use as the foundation for your marketing to the end of time. Okay. Cool. Should we go? Let's do this. Here's the sentence. We're going to build this sentence together. So, has to do with an ally, has to do with a win, has to do with an identity crisis. True or false to everybody in the room? You sell a result. True or false? Okay. I'm like looking at
Don't move on till they answer. You
Okay.
guys, I got an hour and a half blocked. She is giving you everything. You talk to her in the chat right now. You let her know that you're here. Do you want to keep going? Do you want to do this workshop with her? Come on, true or false?
You're amazing. I was looking through
Result.
some of their other comments and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so me. This is so me. So you're great. Okay, true. Okay. So I think we can kind of like pseudo say, yeah, you've been trained super well. And bro marketing is right in the sense that you sell a result. Okay. You sell a result. Now, this is how bro marketing tells you to sell a result. It is with things like this. Okay. We have been taught to use extreme results. So if you're like in the health and wellness place, the images that you show are people losing like 100 pounds in 5 days. Okay. And I'm being dramatic. I get that. Okay. Some of you are going massively into the worlds of like, I'm going to 10x the amount of money that you're making. I'm going to 10x your followers in 7 days and all this kind of stuff. You have been taught extreme results. And you may say, well, Sarah, but I've done that. I've done that. And okay, that is super awesome that you have figured out how to 10x things for your clients. That's amazing. But here is the challenge. Can you consistently 10x social media followers for all of your clients? Can you consistently do it? Okay. Have I been able to 14x people's businesses using the victor's journey? Totally. Can I do it every time? Oh, heck no. I'm not that good. Haven't done it. Full transparency. Okay. I've done it like twice. Okay. But I haven't done it like 10 times. Haven't done it. Okay. You have been taught to use the extremes. And here is the problem. Okay. And you will understand this. I'm so glad that like we are full of women here because this will make so much sense to you. When you market using extreme results, 10x weight loss, 10x social media followers, 10xing your, whatever it is. Okay. 100xing. Oh, Lauren and I were talking about that. Oh my gosh, die. Okay. When you market using extreme results, it will work initially. Women will buy that, okay? And she'll only buy once. So let's say you're saying, I'm going to help you lose 100 pounds in 2 weeks, okay? That's such a bro marketing thing. I'm sure you could Google that and that is being offered somewhere, okay? I'll help you lose 100 pounds in 2 weeks. She will buy the initial offer, okay? And then guess what? She's going to go through 2 weeks from you and she's going to lose about 17 pounds, which is awesome, by the way, or whatever, but you did not deliver. And she's going to tell her friend, okay? So your customer will only buy from you once, and then her friends will never buy. Okay. This is why marketing dies in the hands of women, is because we haven't learned how to deliver actual results. Okay. So she will not buy twice and her friend will not buy once. So here is the first part of your sentence. We are not 10xing here today, people. That's not what we're doing, unless that's what you consistently do. We are here to help you define the core result that your business can offer over and over and over and over again, consistently. Not at the extremes, not at the highs, not at the lows, but what is the consistent result you can provide? Okay. Netflix's core result, endless entertainment. Okay. Do they deliver? Yes, they do. Okay. What is the core result of this? 5 hours of energy. Cool. Okay. What is the core result of the diaper genie? I had to bring this in. Okay. What is the core result of this? Okay. That your house won't stink. Can it do that consistently? Totally. Awesome. Okay. What's the core result of, I love this, theadventurechallenge.com. We have every book they own. What's the core result of this is fun experiences as a couple. Okay. Meaningful experiences as a couple. Cool. Okay. This is my own training and webinar. Okay. What is my core result with the programs I offer? We 2x the revenue of like 97% of people that enroll in it. We 2x it. Do we 10x it? No, because we can't do that consistently. Okay. We can't do that consistently. What about the core result here? Okay. They offer you a platform for an online business. Do they deliver? Yes, that's what they do. What about your amazing ally, Lauren Golden? Okay. She helps you get a core result of not having to ever make that choice between family and finances. Okay. That's what she's all about, the core result. So the temptation is this, and the significantly different way to market this is we are no longer going to market using extreme and rare results. I am so proud of you. If you have like 10x and 20x and done all those cool things, that is awesome. And I promise you, in the long term, if you can figure out your core result and market using that, you've got a long-term business of incredible, loyal women who are your customers. Okay, so let's define your core results. I'm going to move over my window here so I can see the chat. What is your core result? Okay, I'm going to move this over. Okay, good.
I've
Okay,
got you
let's
too.
see. Yeah,
I
go
can
ahead.
help.
Okay, that'd be
I was
great.
just going to say, I can help.
I should have brought my other screen. I don't know what I said.
No, it's so good. This is what I'm here for. Don't mind me turning it off, like pumping iron in the background. I'm like standing up watching you. I'm like, yeah, listen.
It's so good. It's so good. And as those chats come up, I want you to see why this matters. Okay. When you define your core result, and that's what you use to market. Okay. When you market using a core result, guess what happens? She's going to buy from you again. Why? Because you actually delivered. And oh, soapbox, do you know how rare it is in the business world to actually deliver what you say you're going to deliver to your clients? It is more rare than you think. You've been spoiled by this lady over here. Okay. Because she delivers on her stuff. Okay. We fulfill on the promises that we market with. That's what we do. Okay. If you feel like you need a big legal disclaimer after every slide that you do, this is not typical, you got to rethink if you want a long-term business. Okay. So when you market using a core result, she will buy again. And guess what she's going to do? Her friend will buy for her first time. Because do women talk? Oh, my word. Bus stop, playgroup, gym, all the things. They will talk. So not only will she buy again, but her friend will buy for her first time. Okay. What kind of core results are we getting, Lauren?
Elishba says she will help create and market your course or program every single time. Want me to keep going? Or are you going to
I will just say, okay, so your core result is I help you finish and create a course. Great. Keep going.
Okay. Caitlin says, eliminate the stress of debt and money.
Ooh. Okay. Keep going.
Okay.
So I know what to work with.
Taryn says time freedom, support. I'm assuming maybe assist VA work.
Brilliant. And Taryn, I would numberify it. Give it a number. How much time can you free up for that CEO? Okay. They will pay you richly for that if you can free up their time. Brilliant. Okay. Any more?
Kelly says, help you create and market your services through email marketing.
Oh, okay. So you're an email marketer. Okay. Fabulous. Fabulous. Okay.
Michelle says, okay, sorry, my brain is trying to work at the
You're
same
just
speed
great.
as my mouth. Michelle says, I totally struggle with this. I think I'm focusing on finding the quantifiable when really I'm a reliable marketing partner to help her get poo done.
Yes.
I hesitated on that
Thank you
one.
for the edit. I love it so much. Okay, so even for that last one, saying that it's a struggle totally makes sense. Okay. The more that you can quantify it, the more effective it's going to be. And this is part of what we're going to talk about at our Free Mama event. Okay. Is we'll talk a little bit about how do we quantify this? How do we make this more attractive to our clients with this core result? So you are not alone in the fact that a core result, most people ignore this. They just say,
Yeah.
oh, I 10X one person, 10X is my thing. That's what I do.
We
Not
talked
good.
about this during when you did the presentation the first time, and we were looking even like at my challenge. Well, we've had people in our free and 23-day challenge
Yeah.
book out their entire book of business, but that's the 10X result. That's not the normal result. And so we talked about the actual promised result that if you do the things we can pretty much guarantee is land your next client. That's the deliverable. You do this challenge, you will land your next client if you follow it, right? And so that's kind of an example if you're listening of like, the bro marketer way would be fill out your book of business with this, whatever. And is it possible? Yes, but it's the extreme result, not the core result. So I don't know,
Yes.
that was helpful for me. That was like a very tangible, like get your next client, or we were talking about like the free mama movement, like start your freelancing business in 3 months or less. Like that was a very like container core result. Do some people start their business in a week and others a year? Yes, but the most people are getting that core result of getting going within 3 months. So
I love that.
you want, I got, they're all pouring in now. You want me to keep going or you
Okay.
move on?
I'm going to keep going so they can see
Keep
how this
going.
plugs in. Okay. We're going to
Yeah,
keep going
yeah.
because when you start with a core result, you have already established leverage. Thank you, Oscar the Grouch. Okay. When you know your core result, you have established your first piece of leverage in that victor's journey. So as you're building this sentence, okay, what you have actually built with her, are you seeing it? Is the initial win. It's not the extreme. It's not the Mordor. It's not go defeat Take-Ka at the end, okay? Because she doesn't even know she can do it yet, okay? You have established that initial win. That's what you provide. And that is a long-term game with loyal female customers. Okay. So if we look at the victor's journey, we now know that we have accomplished the initial win. Super, super cool. Okay. We've got the win. Let's focus on the next one. And let me introduce you to someone you guys know. You guys know her. Her name is Catherine Jones. Okay. And I went up to Catherine and I'd figured out this victor's marketing thing. And I was like, I need to like plug this into Catherine's business. And so I called her and I said, Catherine, you are a genius. First off, I want to help market your super awesome business to women. Can I help? Okay. And I was expecting her to be like, oh, Sarah, come on in. This is great. Because I'd like discovered this brilliant thing, right? Well, this was Catherine's response. She said, oh, Sarah, that sounds so amazing. But are you going to make everything pink and scrolly? Okay. So this is what we would call Catherine Jones's identity crisis. Okay. Is when I tell her about my product and she's like, super cool, but I'm concerned. Okay. She was going through an identity crisis because what happens when I come into her design hacking world and I decide to make everything pink and scrolly? Well, train wreck. Okay. That's going to happen in Catherine Jones's world. So she's like super cool, but okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to help address the identity crisis. Okay. Your product is awesome. You have been taught well. If you are producing results for people, rock and roll. This is great. This is great. And guess what? People have reservations. Women have reservations about your products and services. Okay. I would love to hire you to do my email marketing, but what if it doesn't sound like me? Okay. I would love to hire you to manage my social media, but like, do I have to go film 85 things for you every week? Okay. Are you seeing this? Okay. I would love for you to help me with my taxes, but do you really understand how S corps work? Like, do you understand that? Okay. So these are the discussions people are having in their brain as they go through their own identity crisis. Just like Moana is like, I have a problem. My island is dying. Am I going to go and be the leader of my island like I'm supposed to be? Right? Or am I going to go and be drawn to the ocean, which my crazy grandma that everybody thinks is crazy is telling me to go do? identity crisis. Okay. Your client is having an identity crisis before they book with you. So we're going to play a game called Touch the Butt. That's what we're going to play. Okay. Put on your AirPods if you got little kids around. Okay. Because we're going to be saying the word butt a lot over the next couple of slides. Okay. So we're going to play Don't Touch the Butt. This is from Nemo, but instead I'm going to introduce you to Bob Barker. Okay. Here's the fill in the blank. Okay. We're going to play Touch the Butt in the sense of someone saying, oh, your email marketing strategy is really cool, but I have a hard time with making it sound like me. Okay. You're too expensive. I'd have to edit it 10 times. It's actually going to be more work for me. Okay. Your core result is really cool, and my recommendation for you right now in the chat, as Lauren manages this, is for you to actually write down what you think the top 3 buts are. Okay. While you're doing that, I'm going to give you some examples of what this can look like. Okay. And then I want to hear what you think the buts are. Okay. What are the buts to your business? Okay. So if we want no diaper stink, but I seriously don't want to walk to the garbage outside, well, the diaper genie has your back. So do you see how it's giving you a core result? And it's also acknowledging the fact that you're having an identity crisis. I don't want to walk outside every time I have to throw away a diaper, right? So they're going to solve that for you. Cool. Here's the next one. I want a caffeine boost, but look, I'm not super thirsty. Okay, well, that's 5-hour energy. It's giving you the core result, and it's acknowledging that you have reservations about the fact that you normally have to drink a big thing of Diet Coke, right? Okay, what about this one? Entrepreneurs need a business, but they aren't technical. Well, these are drag and drop business programs. That's what these are, okay? Another one, mamas need freedom and family, but they don't know where to start, and MLMs are gross. Totally stole this from Lauren, okay? All right, who is their person? Yeah, it's the free mama. Okay, that's what we're doing. So what you're going to do is you're going to see how this plugs into your leverage statement, okay? This is going to be the foundation of your marketing for the next 100 days, okay? This simple statement. Your leverage statement foundation is core result without what, okay? So if I want quality time with my spouse without planning everything, I'm going to buy the Adventure Challenge. If I want an online business system without being techie, then I'm going to get into ClickFunnels. Okay. All of these are examples of without statements. Okay. Lauren, take it away.
Oh, they are piling through on this one. So
okay.
everybody definitely knows their objections. Takes too much time, costs too much money, not in my budget. My spouse doesn't support me. It will make more work for me. I don't want to change and lose my friends around me. I can't afford it. I don't have the time to train or onboard, but can you sound like me? I can just do it myself. Lots of time and money, as we know. You're too expensive. I don't have an hour available every week to meet.
Ooh.
More budget. How can I make sure you'll know my voice? I haven't been in business long enough. Okay. I don't have time to do all the things myself.
I'm dying here because you guys, full transparency, about 11 days ago, I was sitting in Salt Lake City, Utah in a boardroom, okay, with 11 dudes. And we were talking about this product, and I was asking them, why are women not, it was a baby product. Why are women not buying this product? This is 11 MBA people.
They don't know.
Silent.
Yeah.
Silent.
And here's what I keep trying to drive home, Sarah. And I know this isn't your point, but as the leader of this community, this is my point. So please, this is not just about putting this statement together for your business. This is not just about being an entrepreneur. If you really pay attention to this, it will change your consumer habits. You will not fall into fake promises. You will not be the girl on the teeter-totter who makes the one purchase and gets burned, and then your self-esteem goes down because someone else lied to you. Like, this is making you a savvier consumer as well as a better producer. So that's why I'm like so moved by this presentation, because it's really dynamic, Sarah. It is not shocking to me at all that these women understand the objections, because, hi ladies, they were your objections from buying from me. Like, we know these objections because we have these objections. Like, it's like, yeah. Anyway, that's not, in no way is that story surprising to me that they didn't know, and that we're here going, because we live them. I think they're kind of wrapped up in our own identity crises, but I digress.
Can you take what Lauren has just said and recognize that the statistic of 85% of purchases are influenced or made by women is obviously true. This is proof of that, because you are actually very well versed at making decisions financially on which baby bottle you're going to buy, and on which diapers you're going to put on your baby's rear end, and on which hoodie you're going to buy for summer cold nights. Like, you are well in practice. Men are not. Men buy because they are desperate with urgency and push with closed cart emails, right? And men defer a lot of decisions to the buyer in the home, which is women. Fascinating, right? Fascinating.
Super fascinating.
Okay. So do we officially have a leverage statement? Okay. Well, we've blocked one part of it. Let's be honest. Okay. We've blocked one part, but we're almost there. Okay. So we now have started to build this sentence that will become the foundation of you as a consumer, like Lauren said, and also as an entrepreneur, as you run your business. You have identified the identity crisis. You have identified the initial win you are going to give her that will build loyalty till the end of time. Okay. Now, what about the ally? Okay. This is the easiest one. Who is the ally? You guys, it's you. Sweet. This is so cool. This is so cool. So when we open up this statement, the statement becomes, I provide a 2x jump in revenue. Okay. That's what I provide, without Facebook ads, without a large following, right? And without being slimy. That's what I do. Okay. That's what I do. I am the ally. And so when we use this incredible online world and we post on podcasts and webinars and trainings and sales pages and so whatever applies to you, all of this won't apply to you. It's okay. Okay. Whatever avenue you're in, show up as a friend, not as a guide. Be an ally in the room. Don't hoity-toity, look at my cool 10 million, blah, 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 blah. Like, talk to them about the early parts of your journey. Talk to them about the core results. Talk to them about your real life behind the scenes. Do you know who's really brilliant at this? Your ally. Okay. I took like 12 seconds and grabbed these off of her Instagram feed without her permission. Okay. And I thought, this is an ally of mine. She is standing up, teaching me. She's a teacher, when to say no. She's published a book. Okay. She's a yoga master. Okay. She's traveling with her kids. She's a reader. Okay. She's working from her home. She has established herself, yes, as a leader and an ally, not necessarily your guide. Isn't that interesting? We'll talk about the guide in a minute. Okay. She is your ally. So when you are posting online, get out of the headspace of it having to be polished and it having to be perfect and of it having to be all about your business and all about your skill set and all about how it's all together. Okay. That is so bro marketing. Attending an event where there's people that have paid thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars to be in the room, and you stay on stage and you won't go and shake hands with people in the room. That is a guide mentality. I'm higher up on the mountain. You can't come sit by me. Like, that is a guide mentality, and it turns off women. Have you ever sat in a room like that? Whereas you get in a room with Lauren and what happens? Come sit by me. Her and I sat together. Okay. She didn't know who I was. Come sit by me.
I said hugging very enthusiastically. I'm like, hugging. Touch me.
I love this so much. And I hope that it first it opens Lauren's eyes, right? And I hope it also opens your eyes to why this community works. Okay. Why this community works. Her approachability is her incredible ability to be your ally. You guys, that is your sentence. I provide a win while acknowledging her identity crisis. That is your sentence. Okay. You're not just going to copy and paste this all over your Instagram for the next 60 days. You are going to find things to support this. And this will be your marketing efforts moving forward. Okay. So that is the victorious journey. The victress has a problem, meets an ally, you invite him to act, identity crisis, the win, rock and roll. So my hope is that you can see how when we lean into the fact that the victor's journey is different, it can help you make more money in the long term, okay, which is something you need to grow your impact and to be able to give how you've never given, okay, by leveraging that, and also by doing your marketing that is real, that is honest, that is allied based, that's going to help propel your business to the next level and propel your soul where it wants to be too. Remember that you and I must become marketers, and this is a super good start. My goal is to help you be able to give what you have: time, energy, money, knowledge. I put the wrong logo on here. Sorry, Lauren. Okay, move on. Okay. If you have felt frustrated, I just want you to know I see you. Okay. I've been there. I've done that. I've done slimy things. I've lost friends. I've made mistakes. I've copied and pasted. I totally get it. Lean into the fact that you are a woman and that she is different. Okay. This is the promise at the very, very end that I would love to help you connect the dots here. Okay. Sincerely, truly, how can I help you? If you are interested in sitting with me for an hour live, I'll be in my PJs. There won't be a backdrop. Okay. I'll probably have some hot beverage next to me. Okay. Monday or Tuesday, March 27th and March 28th, we have a noon time and then we have an evening time. If you go to this little code here, and we can post it in the group if we want, there are 40 seats. I'd love to sit with 40 of you over those 2 days and be able to help you connect the dots and identify what that leverage statement could be and what it looks like for your business online. That's what I'm here to do and here to help serve you. Okay. The last thing I want you to see here is that this journey actually is about you. The most important thing here is that you're actually the victress in your own soul journey. Okay. You have been driven and called to do something important, to do something that fills you, and you just can't let go of it. That's how you found Lauren, right? And my guess is all of us have sat in this stage in the game. The thoughts that were like, oh, that's too hard. Oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm not supposed to, like that you have been through that space of the identity crisis. And if you are in it, let's sit together. Let's talk about it. Let's show you women who have accomplished what you're hoping to do without sacrificing the things that you think you have to sacrifice for it. Like you've got such a great ally here with you in the room. Okay. You also have taken steps. The fact that you're here, okay, you've started on a journey. That's amazing. Okay. You've taken action. You have allies all around you. A lot of us are here live. Okay. That's part of your journey as well. You're on a journey in some way. And I hope that you're working towards either your first win, final win, beyond wins, all those things, that goal that you're reaching for after arriving here. Now, I know that all of us have this, all of us, Lauren included, that there is an ever-present voice that is trying to stop you. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. It's saturated. You're a flake. You don't finish things. All of those voices are the enemy. They are the takeoff. Okay. And as much as you think that a Gandalf or a guide version of Lauren Golden is going to come and save you, guess what happens? You meet the guide and you're going to make me cry. Stop. Okay. The guide, oh my gosh, what is happening? Okay. The guide is you. And this is what Lauren discovered in our last meeting, is we are meant to be allies because you are your own guide. And anything that we can do to open your eyes to that and give you opportunities to better see that, we will do that till our dying day. Okay. You are the guide. There is no Gandalf. Okay. Spoiler alert. Okay. There is no Gandalf. It is you. It is absolutely you. And this has been such an honor because I know when you see yourself as that guide, your impact on the world and on those CEOs that you're helping and on those free mamas that you are lifting up, your impact ripples. It impacts your kids. It impacts your community. It impacts your soul. Your ability to bring something powerful back to your sphere of influence is undeniable. Undeniable. This has been such an honor. If you want to sit with me, I would love to do this. Okay. I would love to be able to sit with you and talk about how we can move your mission forward. But this has been such an honor for me to sit here in Lauren's group, and welcome to the Victor's Journey.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I have two things I want to say. We're going to deflect a little bit so my emotions can cool back down first.
I'm struggling. Okay.
Guys, when I asked Sarah to come back, if you know me, you know that I am huge on reciprocity and equal exchanges of energy. And so Sarah and I were talking, and not that the goal was, what can I sell them? But I was basically like, I really value your time. And I realize I'm asking you to do something for free for me again. Sarah had nothing to sell you. You're not who she's talking to in her business at the moment. And I said, I wouldn't feel right asking for this time. And she said, well, we only have an hour and I'm guessing a lot of people are going to be there. So would you feel comfortable if we workshopped it? And I said, I think that is such a win-win-win, which again, if you know me or you've been coached by me, you know that is my framework philosophy. I don't do anything that isn't a win-win-win. And that's 3 wins. That's a win for Sarah, a win for me, but also a win for you guys, the community. That's how everything I do, I look through that lens. So if you had questions in the chat, a lot of you guys were asking for feedback or you felt stuck. This is a really affordable opportunity for her to be able to work with you in a more intimate environment where you'll have more time. And now you already have the context. So just so you know, that is where this came from. On the other side, and I was a little early dropping my GIF in the comments, I think because of the delay. I love Moana, but I am not as well versed in Moana as I am Frozen 2. When I watched Sarah give this presentation, I had this huge flare up. I was on the verge of tears because I'm watching her do this. I'm thinking back through my own multiple iterations of the Victress journey with the identity crisis and the working through it and who are my allies and whatever. And I remember especially like on my second lap up as I was building the Free Mama movement and I was working with my coach, it was Liz Benny at the time, who was this ally to me. She had information, yes, but she was this ally. She wouldn't even take credit for like my wins. She's like, no, it's you, whatever. So if you've seen Frozen 2, I dropped the GIF in there. I have talked about this before even this training from you. There is this moment, it's the GIF that I posted in the comments, where if you've seen Frozen 2, it is where Elsa realizes, I've never seen such a dynamic animation where you can see feeling on a cartoon character, but she gets this look in her eyes when she's singing, show yourself. She's talking out to other people. Show me who's doing this. Who is this thing? Where is this greatness? Who's the person who's gonna, this hero out there that's gonna save me and whatever. And she's like singing to her dead mom. It's kind of weird. But anyway, the mom is basically like, you're the one that you've been looking for. And I cannot keep it together. I've seen that movie like 50 times. I cry every time. And there's an expression on Elsa's face when she gets it, Sarah, when she's like, holy crap, the guide is me. Oh my goodness gracious. She is me. We are here. I am going. And when I watched you give this presentation, I had that exact same feeling that I get every time I see that movie where I'm like, what a sense of empowerment to know that you are enough. You are where you're meant to be. You are who you are meant to be. Nobody else can do this for you. There's nobody you can buy from, myself included, who's going to like have all you have the answers. You have the answers, but you have to learn to trust yourself, to know that your identity crises are not only normal, but part of the process. You can't grow to the guide that you need to be for yourself without the questioning, without the enemy, without do you call it the enemy? The enemy, the problem, the enemy, all of the different things. It's all part of it. And the community. We need each other. This group exists for a reason. I created it because I created the community I never had. And I designed it in a way to be the community that I wanted and needed through all of my past journeys. And I don't just do it for myself, I do it for you guys. And so lean into that, but moreover, lean into yourselves. You know what you're doing. You know what you want. You do. It's in there. And if you can't hear it, we got to get still. We got to get still together. Sarah, you impress me beyond belief. I find this groundbreaking. I really do. I know that that's probably like a little bit of a bro marketing word,
I'll take it.
little cliche, but I find this truly groundbreaking. And one of the things I saw in the comment earlier on is the what about her? Like as soon as you had that slide where you showed Moana, everyone's like, yeah, what about her? What about her? And so you guys, as you're making decisions as business owners, as consumers, as producers, don't forget her. And remember that you are also her. We are her. And I don't know, I find this so powerful. And I'm just so immensely grateful for your time coming back here in the community, Sarah, being here for me and for all of the other free mamas. I know that this work has also felt groundbreaking for yourself and for being willing to do not just one, but 2 workshops to make yourself available to all of the free mamas who want to dive deeper and see how they can really make their message connect with the people that they're trying to connect with and in a way that feels really good. Last thing, in case you weren't here at the very beginning, Sarah modeled what she taught today. The whole slimy, whatever. She announced what she was offering at the very beginning of this. You know, it was very approachable. There was nothing like, and then I'm going to do the bait and switch at the end where I'm going to rip the rug out and be like, but if you really want the information, come over here, you know? And I think that's something a lot of us have grown to expect, you know, or we think we have to do because we're experiencing it. And so I just found a lot of integrity and, you know, you were practicing what you preach, which is something I always try to lead by example as well. So thank you for your integrity marketing today as well, Sarah. I think it's amazing.
Oh, Lauren, it's been incredible. And I need to go watch Frozen 2, like clearly.
Have you not
Clearly.
seen it?
I mean, it's been a while. I've got
Oh
kids
gosh.
waiting
Oh
to a
gosh.
condo
Can I
right now.
come over?
Right?
Can we watch
Please.
it together?
Pink jammies again. And it
Just flash forward to like 3/4 through the movie. I mean, it just gets me every time. I think knowing what you've built when you watch that movie, I think you're going to be like, wow, I really nailed it. Like I really nailed it. Because
wow.
the song, guys, think about it. If you've seen Frozen 2, the songs match the Victress journey. Literally.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, like to it, there is the identity crisis, much like Moana, right? There's the identity crisis song. There is like the problem song. There is the
In
enemy song.
everyone, in
Yes.
Encanto, in Mulan. I
Oh,
mean, it's mind-blowing. And I love how I call it a director's cut, like that moment on the face of Elsa when she realizes it, you will never forget it. And that's like your
never.
director's cut of like, keep me in this, like keep me in this guide space. And and a lot of it comes from a lot of my identity crisis was feeling like in order to have massive impact out here, that my kids would suffer. I have 4 kids, right? So that was a huge part of my identity crisis. And the one that I hang on to is Moana, when she meets Te Kā and walks to Te Kā and they go like forehead to forehead. And she says, I know who you are. And it reminds me that if I can become a guide, if I can become my own guide and develop decision making and trust in myself, I can pass it to those I am most deeply connected with, my kids, right? Yes, my clients, but man, my kids. If I can raise kids that trust themselves and have decision making. So like, I love that you're sitting there with Elsa. I'm sitting here with Moana and I'm like, who's your Victress? Like, who is she? And what is that moment that you can just bottle up and let fill your soul? Oh, what an opportunity. Thank you.
Oh gosh, it's so yummy. Sarah, thank you so much. You guys pour her all the love and thank you. Oh, people are talking about PJs. They're already, who knows, you're probably already full, but if you're watching the replay, try to get in there when you can. It sounds like everybody's already excited. So that's amazing. Yes. And please let us know who your female Disney spirit animal is, if it's another one that we haven't recognized. But yes, I've been saying for years, Elsa just gets me and it just follows this. So it's one of those things where I think also it felt familiar because it's my life experience, but you validated it through showcasing what I've already lived. You know what I mean? And so, and now that creates, and this is where we get to be marketers, you guys, effective marketers, because as business owners, we have to be marketers. That part we're not getting out of, but now we can do it in integrity. We can do it from a place of awareness. We can do it from a place of intentionality where it's going to feel good because we know the people we're talking to, we're linking arms in allyship to get them where they want to go, to see themselves as a guide in their own journey. It's amazing.
Well,
I could go on and on and on and
Well,
on.
and I really want to validate something that you said, that some of you may feel like, that crane thing we talked about at the beginning, that often that crane thing happens because we copy and paste from bro marketing, whereas Lauren may have instinctively understood some things earlier on. She understood the need for allies. She understood the need to provide a result, and she understood those things kind of instinctively. It's really hard to repeat it if you kind of don't, if you feel like all you're doing is flying by the seat of your pants. And so I just really want to acknowledge that, like, Lauren has built her business using the Victress journey instinctively. You've leaned into the fact that you're a female. You've leaned into the fact that you had to make that choice between family and finances. And you were like, no, thank you. Like, this is tearing my soul apart. What am I going to do? And you became that guide. And so I hope that this has helped facilitate even just a visual of just, where am I going and what am I leaning into? And is this okay for me to lean into? I hope that that can be valuable for your people moving forward, so it doesn't feel like luck. It is not luck. It's like integrity. That's what it is.
And being bold enough to go after it. Moana goes out in the ocean.
Yeah.
Elsa goes on her journey. Like that, there is no Victress journey when we stop at identity crisis. So I think that is really important to say as business owners, especially as women, because now we can see it. That's where we allow ourselves to get stuck. So do what you need to do, get the allies, the mentors, the coaching program, whatever the thing is you need, the internal work, to move forward, because those movies end if we give up at the identity crisis. It wouldn't be a movie. It'd be really boring. It'd be like the first 15 minutes,
Never take off.
Yeah, it would never take off. So, all right, Sarah, I could talk to you all day about this topic. I love it so much, but I will protect your time as well as everybody else's. Look at us wrapping up 10 minutes early. Just fantastic. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Please take advantage of the opportunity to work with Sarah. And Sarah, thank you again just for your time, your energy, your work. I just think it's really beautiful and validating. So thank you.
You are so welcome. Thank you, Lauren. We'll see you all soon.
All right. Bye, guys.